Is your Keurig pumping and pumping and pumping, but not giving you any coffee? Stick around. Let's get this fixed. Thank you for tuning in to Lenderman's Shop today. My name is Joel, and today we're going to talk about the Keurig coffee maker. This particular model I know is no longer made, but I have an idea this might affect a number of other models as well. If you're in a situation where the pump in the Keurig sounds like it's trying to pump, but it's just not getting any water, so you're not able to make your cup of coffee, I think I might have at least 3 different thoughts on how you might be able to fix your Keurig coffee maker. The first one that I'll go over is the one that worked for me, and then I'll go over 2 other ones that I saw online that might help you as well. See if you can find yourself some white vinegar. This is the distilled white vinegar. You might have that somewhere around the house. You're only going to need a tiny little bit. If you can find a little cup, this one's a disposable cup, but any small cup, it makes it a little bit more manageable if it's small. A straw, if you have a straw around the house, this is actually a reusable straw. And yes, this is a air compressor nozzle or gun here from out in my garage, and I'll tell you how I use that. Obviously these 2 here kind of do the same function. And then I have a smaller towel, and then I put my coffee maker on a towel too. If you have that, that will help you kind of keep things a little bit tidy so things don't get messy. And then of course you're going to want your coffee mug, because at the end of all this, our hope is that you'll be able to have a nice fresh cup of coffee once you get done cleaning all this out. So this particular clean out that I did took me about 2 hours, mainly because you're going to let the vinegar sit, and you can go off and do some other things, come back to it, test it out, put some more vinegar in, but plan on about at least an hour and a half, 2 hours for everything to work here. All right, so let's get to the nitty-gritty and find out what to do to help your Keurig coffee maker get working again.
All right, the first thing I want to do here is remove some of these pieces that I don't need. So I don't need this right now. I'm going to set that off to the side, and I'll take off the water reservoir here, tank. Okay, so that spot right there is where the water from the reservoir goes into. See on the bottom here, right? It goes from there, goes from right there into there. And of course, if this is blocked up down here, your water's not going to get into where it needs to go. Now, when I was trying to make coffee with this, actually it was a few months ago now, you could hear the pump running and running and running, but you could tell that no water was coming out of the tank. The water was not going anywhere. So I knew the machine was still in good shape. It just needed a clean out. You can dry this out, which is something that we can do with our towel. Just kind of wick out the water that's in there. More. Okay, so you wicked out some of the water. Now pour your vinegar into here, and again, it doesn't have to be too much. And you're going to take your vinegar and you're going to pour it in there, just a little bit. It's okay if it kind of goes over, because you can dry that up. Okay, so go ahead and pour your vinegar in there, and let it sit for a little bit. Come back with your straw. Okay, you're going to blow down into there, but see, as you're doing that, you're going to blow, but do yourself a favor and just put your little towel around. Now you can blow into that. You're just trying to force some of that vinegar back into the inner workings, back this way here, as it would go over this way, okay? And then, you can put your reservoir back on, turn on the machine, and see if it works. The first time did not work for me, so I did it again. I took a little bit more vinegar, and I poured it in there, let it sit for a little bit, and then I did this little technique again. Now, just so you know, when you're blowing air into the bottom there will be some water that comes out up top here, maybe even some vinegar. I believe that is an overflow or a steam buildup condensation outlet there. So that just brings it back into your reservoir. So if that happens, it's fine. It'll just drip down here. You let it sit there for a little bit. Okay, go ahead and take your straw and try it again. Try it again and see what happens. Okay, blow. You're going to blow forcefully, but you don't want to have the vinegar and the water go all over the place. But that's what your towel is there for, to help you. So I did that again, and it did not work for me. Okay. So then I thought, all right, let me go out into the garage. So I took my whole Keurig out into the garage, and I hooked up my air compressor, which is actually kind of a lighter duty air compressor. It's, it doesn't have a whole lot of power behind it, so I felt very safe with that. And of course, you can get a different nozzle here. Maybe you have a different nozzle in your one that's a little bit longer. So that I just gave it a couple little, bzz, 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 like that in here. Again, I don't know how sensitive everything on the inside is, so I didn't want to overdo it. Have it here, bzz, bzz, bzz. Okay, you're forcing in the vinegar. You're trying to break the whatever blockage that's in there, and then just let it sit again. And then after I did that with the air compressor, lo and behold, I brought it back in and it started to work for me. So hopefully that will work for you. Again, it's just if you hear the motor running, the pump in there trying to get the water, but it's not grabbing the water, then there's likely a blockage down in there. All right, so let's go over a couple other thoughts that I have that might be more of the situation that you have with your Keurig. If you look on the bottom of your tank, you'll see a knob-looking object with a spring-loaded release type of a button in there, right? For lack of a better term. Take a spoon or something that you have in your kitchen. It can be just about anything, as long as it fits up in there. And all you need to do to make sure that this is not blocked is press up on that. See all that water is coming out, and that tells me that that's in good shape. Okay, so again, you're looking for this on the bottom. Make sure water is coming out of there. Now, if water is not come out of there when you put your spoon or whatever you put on there, then that might be your issue, and that would be a nice issue to have because it's right there. So my recommendation there is, maybe take a small brush, a toothbrush, scrub it very gently in there. It is delicate. Maybe put some vinegar on that, let it sit for a little bit. But just work out any buildup that might be in there. Depending on what type of water you have, if you're putting well water especially into your Keurig, then things are going to start blocking up, kind of quickly. So you might want to keep an eye on these pieces. Maybe monthly, or every few weeks run some vinegar through it just to loosen up those different calcium deposits. Okay, so let's look at one more suggestion that I have for you if this didn't work and you don't want to go to the bottom part of the Keurig. So let's go back over to Keurig and talk about what on the inside might be an issue for you. If this over here hasn't worked for you, and the bottom piece on the reservoir tank seems to be operating fine for you, then you might need to open up this piece here. To do that, there is a screw here and a screw there, and then this piece will gently come out. Okay, it's kind of latched on the back there. You push it back a little bit up and out, and bring it out, and that will reveal the main tubing on the inside here. I have seen other videos where the folks have just kind of squeezed the tubing, kind of loosening up anything that's in there. When I opened mine up, I saw that it was very clear, as you can see in the pictures here, so I knew right away that wasn't the issue, but I thought I should check it out anyway. So if that is the issue for you, go ahead and kind of break it up. I wouldn't suggest pulling on all that tubing too much, but go ahead and squeeze it, see if you can break up anything that's in there, and then I would immediately run some cleaner through here. They do have specific Keurig cleaner that you can purchase, or if you have the vinegar sitting around, then I'd recommend you run half and half with water run it through the whole machine to kind of get all that loosened up. And then while you're at it, go ahead and take this piece out here. This pulls out, it's just kind of clipped in there in 3 different spots. So it pulled out like that, okay? And then you can go ahead and clean all this out as well. And you can get down in here and clean, maybe again with a brush or something like that. See, I need to clean way down there. Be careful up here though. Up top there is the needle that cuts into your K-cup. And there's also a needle down here that cuts into the bottom. So you have one for the top and you have one for the bottom. So when you're fooling with this, be very careful because they are kind of sharp. As you can imagine, they have to pierce through the plastic top and or the foil top and then the plastic bottom when you put it all together there. Okay, so hopefully that will help out as well if neither of the other 2 suggestions work for you.
All right, so let's have a cup of coffee. Nice and hot too. All right, that's it for me today. Again, let me know in the comments below. Were you able to get your Keurig functioning to an almost brand new like state with just a little bit of cleaning out? Were you able to resurrect it back out of the depths of maybe the landfill? So thanks for joining me. Take care and enjoy your cup of coffee.